now we are going to start our study material. Before going to that, I wish you have watched all our 5 videos. So perfect with the lessons, isn't it? Now let's go with the study material completion. In the study material, the page number 30, if you have observed, the questions were given to you about the snake and the mirror, and page number 131, the duck and the kangaroo poem, Little Bobby. See, please read these questions and write them in your notebook. Now, going with section A, page number 132, comprehension passages were given to you about reading A first one, reading B second one, and reading C third one. Already you have heard the lesson, so I think it is easy for you in completing the comprehension passages. Now start doing this comprehension passage. Already I have given you the answers for them, but without seeing, you try to write these answers and check your answers. Clear? Now section B, page number 133 is the editing the passage. In editing the passage, we have some rules and regulations. What are the rules and regulations? First, let us look. Then we can start doing this editing the passage. So the tips for writing this editing the passage: if the tense is given with 2 plus V2 or 2 plus V1 ing, 2 plus V3, they are the wrong statements. We should correct them, like 2 plus V1. Always 2 form followed with the V1. That is the first rule in the verb mistakes. And second, if he gives in the perfect tense like has or have plus had, in any of the participle or present tense or past tense, see that you should write always the V3 form followed with has, have, had. And if it is in the has plus V2 or has plus V1 ing, have plus V1, always you know that the present perfect tense or past perfect tense have, has, have, had plus V3 form. These are the general topics. So please don't commit the mistakes in writing your edit the passage if the tense forms are given in this way. Clear? Continuous tense also the same. Here I am showing you some wrong and even correct how to change. You go through them and don't commit mistakes while writing. Clear, children? And finally, subject-verb agreement. In subject-verb agreement, singular subject follows with singular verb, plural subject follows with plural verb. So here's the example. A boy have a bicycle. If have is underlined, what is the correct answer? Yes, because the subject is given singular followed with a singular. What is that? Has a bicycle. A boy has a bicycle. Teachers gives homework. Teachers give homework. Kings were cruel. Kings were cruel. So basing on the subject, you should change the verb. If you are perfect with this, then it is so easy to complete editing the passage. Now come to our material 133 page. Vinoba starts a new kind of pilgrimage. Early morning he used to get up at 4 a.m. along with his companions. He attends the Plan Commission meeting in Delhi. By the way, he collected 18,000 acres of land. So from starting to ending, if you observe, this story or this passage already completed. So the already completed action should be in what? It should be in the past. Now starts changing into started. Very good. Attends changing into attended. Planned, planning. By the way, preposition, on the way. This is what the change in the editing the passage. Clear now? Now next going with the choose the words with similar meanings. How do we change them? Let us have a look. Down the meanings were given to you as clues. Underlined words, it should be changed. Now quenched intensity as of competition. How do we change? You try the answers. Already the answers were given at the back. You just go through them. Now participles. This topic now we are going to explain. Then we can start doing the participles. Clear, children? Now what are called participles? How many kinds of participles are there? What are they? We are going to look now. What is a participle? A participle is a verb form that can be used as an adjective or to create verb tense or to create the passive voice. And there are two types of participles. One is called as present participle, past participle. Present participle is nothing but called as V1 ing form is called present participle. And past participle is ending with the ed, d, t, en or n. So basing on the form of the verb. For example, if you take the verb decide. What is the past participle form of decide? Decided. If you take the word as take, take. What is the past participle? Taken. Clear? So the participle forms of the verbs are mentioned here. The base form, the yes form, the past form, the present participle form and the past participle form. Examples were also clearly mentioned to you. Now examples of participles being used as adjectives. How do we change them? I given you the tabular form, the verb, the present participle, the past participle. V1 ing form is called as present, past is V3 form. If the verb is given to you to rise, changing into used as adjective, the rising sun, the rising sun. To boil, the boiling water, the boiled water. In this manner, you will be doing the exercise. Going with the past. The past participle in verb tenses are used in this manner. Simple past you all knows. Go, past form is went. Here the example given to you, I went. Past continuous, I was going. Past perfect, I had gone. Past perfect continuous, I had been going. This was already studied by you in the previous classes even. Now, forming the past participle, this is very important. Now you are going to write this exercise even in your material. Perfect participle means it is a special case having plus V3. There is another term we should cover, which is that perfect participle. It has a structure having plus V3. Having plus V3 means having taken, having eaten, having played. Basing on the situation which is given, you should change the verb. Now, for example, if I give you the sentence, I heard the news, he quickly sold his brother's record collection. So, who heard the news? The person. He heard the news. The verb given is heard. Change it into perfect participle. What is the structure of perfect? Having plus V3. Now come on, change it into having plus V3. Having heard the news, he quickly sold his brother's record collection. Clear? In this way, we should create the perfect participle. Remember that present participle is V1 ing form. Past participle V3 form. Perfect participle having plus V3. These are the participles. Now let us start our exercise. Now first one, all the passengers entered the bus, then the conductor rang the bell. Perfect participle. Look at the sentence. What is the verb given here? Entered. How do we change? Having plus V3. Having all the passengers entered the bus, then the conductor rang the bell. Rani finished her homework, she went out to play. Perfect participle, repeating again, having plus V3. Having finished her homework, Rani went out to play. As the floods had receded, the villagers went back to their homes. Having receded the floods, the villagers went back to their homes. So, the rest of the sentences, I had prepared the answers for you. Try them with present participle, gerunds and infinitive and check your answers at the end. Take the page number 134. Rewrite the following sentences as directed. In 8th class, you have already done all these exercises with relative pronouns, passive, if, direct, indirect, either or, such that now practice them again. Clear? So after practicing, write it with pencil so that you can check your answers and correct the mistakes. Last, going with 5th Roman, adverbial clauses. So you can create your own sentence here. He given in the brackets the clues. First one, when, second, as soon as, since. You can frame your own examples in that. And 135 page, 6th Roman, fill in the blanks with suitable forms of verbs given in brackets. And here, verb forms means tenses. You have already studied in the previous, but the new topics now I am going to discuss. This is very important for you. Now, what is the new topic you are going to see? Verb sequence means relation between the simple past and present perfect, and the relation between the present perfect tense and simple past, past perfect and simple past. Now let's go with simple past and present perfect. How can we identify that the sentence is given in simple past and present perfect relation? It's not a single blank. You will have two blanks in the sentences. Now, they have stolen your clock and bureau is the sentence. Have stolen. Have stolen is which tense here? Has or have plus V3. By looking at structure, you should identify it is a present perfect tense. So the verb is in present perfect as there is no time indicator. Which indicator? Time. Which time? Past time is not indicated. If the time is indicated very clear, like yesterday, the previous day, it talks about the simple past. Actions completed in the immediate past just before the time of speaking in the present. So, immediate past just before the time of speaking in the present, such situations come under as present perfect. For example, if I say, he passed his exam in 2004. Now, which tense I am mentioning here? Past tense. How you have identified that this tense is a past tense? By the time indicator. Year is mentioned clearly. Clear? So, observing the situations, you should identify whether it is a simple past or the present perfect. The difference between these two is if the time indicator like yesterday, long ago, 3 years back, last year, it comes under as a past perfect. It comes under as simple past. Whereas in the present perfect, if time indicator is not mentioned and it had happened in the immediate past. Now second, going with the past perfect followed by simple past. This comes under the two actions which has already completed in the past, where one is earlier and the next comes under as a later action. So when two actions took place in the past, the former action is stated in the past perfect tense. Please identify. Past perfect had plus V3, where latter is coming under the simple past tense. And these are used with after, before, when, even. After, if the sentence begins with after, the earlier action should be written in the past perfect and the latter in the simple past. If before is a linker which is used between the two sentences, identify that the first sentence is the past perfect and latter is the simple past. Now let us go with the exercise which is given. Page number 135. After they dash finish their breakfast, they dash leave for school. Now tell me which tense we are talking about. It begins with after as a linker here. Yes, these two actions already completed. An earlier action, breakfast completed. So, Earlier action should be written in past perfect, had, finished. Latter action, V2 form. Dash Sudha dash not arrived at. Yet at is talking about the present perfect adverb. So what do you write? Has Sudha not arrived at? So sometimes he gives you question with separating the forms. Directly he is not mentioning here Sudha dash at. Sudha has not arrived at. He is separating. Don't think these two are separate blanks. It is common. Now fill in the blanks with suitable prepositions. The car collided dash a van with. Giridhar prefers to go dash foot on foot. Fill in the blanks with suitable articles. Omission of article with X mark. In the 8th class, you have studied about the omission of articles, where to apply. A thing of dash beauty is dash joy forever. First is the omission, whereas second is a. And right form, it is a general given to you. Nick put the engage or engagement. Which one is suitable? You try them. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. These exercises you have learnt in 8th class. So you can start practicing them up to page number 136, 15th Roman. Clear? Now we are going with tenses. So tenses topic, which I have already described to you when we are writing the fill in the blanks, the same. Here in the tenses 137 page, you will be watching about the simple present or present perfect or past, the rest of the 12 kinds of sentences. Now before going to this, we have in page number 137, last read the following passage. Now frame WH questions to get the underlined parts in the passage as answers. Now hold your pencil and try to make the answers. See that this passage always be given from reading C in every unit. In every unit, which reading you have to prepare in constructing or framing the WH questions, reading C. Now after doing this example, you try your own examples by taking one para, underlining minimum 5 words and frame the questions. How to frame, now I am going to explain to you. First one, look here. Little Bobby jumped up the steps to his room. Now look only the first one, Little Bobby. Here, Little Bobby is the name of the person. Framing WH questions, we should frame only with WH words and HOW. You are not supposed to use any preposition or other than this WH like helping verbs, auxiliary verbs at the beginning of the sentence. Little Bobby is a person. Now how do we frame the sentence to get Little Bobby as an answer? Who stumped up the steps? See the way we ask the question. Who stumped up the steps? Question mark. Now what is the answer for that? Little Bobby. We got the answer. So Little Bobby is the answer when you frame the question who stumped up the steps. Now second, to his room. It is talking about the place. Now what is the question form we use? Where did he stump up the steps? Where did he stump up the steps? See, when doing this, do forms plays a vital role. You already studied do plus V1 is a present form, does plus V1 is a V1S form, did plus V1 is a V2 form. Here the verb given is stamped. When you are going to change with do form, so did plus V1 is the correct structure in writing this. So how do we frame? Where did he stump up the steps? Where? To his room. That is second. And third question, Jesse, his pet dog, followed him. Him is underlined word. It talks about a person. His pet dog followed him. Whom did Jesse follow? Whom, beginning with WHOM. Whom did Jesse follow? FOLLOW. Now what is the answer? Him is the question. Now fourth question, Fourth one, Bobby thought for some time and sat down to write a letter to God. What is underlined? To write a letter to God. How do we frame? Why did Bobby sat down? Now what is the purpose? Why did Bobby sat down? To write a letter to God is the answer for this question. Now Jesse sat beside him and started watching what Bobby was doing. Now what is underlined here? Started watching is underlined. Now how do we frame? What was Jesse doing? You can frame as what was Jesse doing? Started watching is the right answer for this. This is how you are going to frame the WH. Now take any one passage from your reading C and frame WH questions so that it will become as easy for you. And while doing once or twice you will commit many mistakes, but no problem there. So while continuous and vigorous practice gives you perfection. So I hope you will start doing the WH framing questions in your notebook. Now the next topic for us, tenses. Already explained to you. Now let us start doing this fill in the blanks. So India dash hardworking people. India, here want is a verb which is given in brackets. What is the correct answer for this? Wants. S form is added because it's a ever and ever it is going to be continued. The owner of this factory is B form, R rich. He studies since morning, since we are talking about the time, has been studying. The train has arrived on the platform before we dash there. See the situation here. Before is a linker which is used here talking about two actions which has already completed in the past. So one is done, had arrived is directly given, that is earlier action. Now the next action follows with V2 form. The theme of the novel dash our culture, reflect. Even in future it is going to happen. So reflects our culture or will reflect is also the right answer. He has to reach home before it get. See the situation at the beginning, he has to reach, still he did not go, it is not in the past. So the answer is gets or will get. Now seventh question, mother dash dinner now, is cooking dinner now. Now is the time indicator talking about the continuous. It dash raining an hour ago. Ago is the time indicator talking about the past, stopped. If you start the work now, you dash the project. Start is a verb which is given in the present. So if clause, if the subordinate clause is in the present, then automatically the main clause should be in future. Can complete or will complete is the right answer. It dash for 2 hours. So we are talking about the time indicator. So it has rained. If I try to speak, she dash seriously, retorts S form or will retort. I dash TV since 8 p.m. I have been watching TV. Hinduism dash a leading religion in the world is. She dash a huge bungalow has. It dash when I met him. It has rained when I met him. And rest of the sentences is given to you as a homework. Please practice them. Try the answers. Finally, you check the answers which were given here after completing. This is what the end of our class for today. So today what should you do? Please go through the material grammar which we have completed today. So it will be a bit of practice for you. In the next class, we will be studying about the rest of the exercises given in the material. Thank you.